So you guys just finished up in Rothmire. You helped the noble Sophia Mizella take her city back from the rebellion.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now she tells you, the next thing, if you are to continue helping me, is to travel to Yungri. But it is about 2 weeks travel.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking for more money.
2 weeks travel.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Dude, that's true.
That's a long time.
That is true.
That's a long time.
So, in game mechanics, basically, like, when you travel, we're gonna do like a random encounters thing. So, you guys can go take a long rest and then head out in the morning.
Okay.
All right. I need one of you guys to roll a d12 for the. Okay, cool.
I got a good old 9.
Okay, cool. All right.
I'm
So
showing the cam for authenticity.
let me just look at my notes here.
Should I bite the die?
Okay.
It's real. All right.
An arrow cracks through the wind as you start your early morning travel, and you realize you're being ambushed by a tribe of goblins. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you guys made it through that like relatively unscathed. I mean, you're at 2 hit points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Well, we'll just keep going.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah. Well, you'll figure it out. You can.
I'll figure it out, dude. I'm at 2 hit points. How?
Well, we'll just keep.
I mean,
Do you want to take a short rest?
Yeah.
It's just like, how many days are we in the...
Well, this is only day 1 of 14, and we have 3 more random encounter rolls today. They're not all bad though.
3 more
They're
today?
not all bad though. That one was pretty bad.
Okay. Well, do you want to take a short rest? You can take a short rest.
I mean, we kind of have to.
Okay. So you guys spend an hour taking a short rest. You can roll hit points.
Okay.
All right. Next. So for the next 2 hours of travel, I need another d12.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead.
That's 6.
Okay.
Or 9, I can't tell.
All right. No random encounter there. All right. I need another d12. This is the 3rd one for day 1.
Okay. I got an 11. Higher numbers mean better rewards, right?
Oh no.
Don't do this to me, man. Do not do this to me. To us.
You run across a band of Slod, giant frog creatures that seek to implant their eggs inside your body so then your intestines explode.
Cool.
Roll initiative.
This is the first day, right?
Yeah.
This is the first day and this is happening?
Uh-huh.
We have 13 more days to go, and this is immediately what happens to us?
Yeah.
I got
Okay,
10.
okay, fine.
4th roll of the day, last roll of the day.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. You roll, because I already
Okay.
did.
3. Can we just...
Okay.
Is that like a skip or something? Can we just skip this day? Can we just do that?
I completely agree with him.
What?
Like, this is so stupid.
It's not that you're skipping the day.
3 days or something.
You can't just skip
you can't
the
just
day.
skip the day, okay?
And you come across a river, and its rapids are going very
Oh.
Okay, at
rapidly.
least I don't have to like stick my sword in and kill it, so...
If you want to just walk through, or
Well, is that where do we need to go to?
you can get across the river.
Okay. Yeah, we'll walk across. I guess.
Okay, I need an athletics check from both of you.
Oh my. 3. That's
6.
great.
6.
So you both get swept up in the river, and you get flushed downstream. That's going to add 4 days to your travel.
Oh my... Dude!
What?
4 days? Really?
Yeah.
Are you trying to screw us over with this?
No. It's the dice. I don't know what you want.
It's
Yeah,
so you
dude.
have every single dice number written with a random thing to happen every single time?
No. Like, some of them are, like, everything goes okay.
Some of them?
Yeah.
A very small margin, I bet.
Well, like, 4 of them.
4
It's like
of
a
them.
33% chance that nothing happens.
And you made it that way?
Uh-huh.
We're not even through day 1. Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, we have been
Dude.
playing for, like, a whole session like this.
Gosh, fine. 4 more days? Do you want to do this?
Well, really, it's 17 more days.
17 more days?
Well, total.
Do you want to do this? Look at him. He
No.
looks bored by this.
No, this is boring as hell.
Oh.
Like, oh,
Well, I don't know what to do because you guys have to get there. What, do you want to just like fast travel?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, can we just?
I
get
mean,
all
yes,
something to skip,
ideally.
like 10 days. You know, if it was like 1 day, okay, maybe. But this is like.
I'm sorry that my DMing style isn't good enough for you.
No, it's not that. It's just.
I mean, it is that, but
boring.
like, if you're gonna be nice about it, and not say it, I'll at least say it because I'm pretty.
I
pissed
worked
about
so
it.
hard in all these random encounters.
Oh yeah, you wrote it. Oh, you wrote it. I wrote it, and I took so much time to write all this stuff with these dice rolls and the percentages. Yeah, what a hard skill. What a hard time-consuming task to do. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. Stop giving me that look.
Jesus Christ, that was so aggressive. Can travel be fun? I think that travel is one of the hardest things to do well in D&D when you're running games, because there is not nearly enough opportunity for plot progression, and the players lose a lot of agency in what they're doing. Players are very reactive to things going on, and as a DM, you kind of want travel to be a normal thing, because you want your players to be immersed in the world. You want the world to feel like a real place, but you kind of end up creating a space where you're not making something that is actually engaging for your players. So some of the problems are that it's tedious, random, and your players are being reactive rather than proactive, which means you're going to lessen the stakes, which means you're going to lessen the drama, and ultimately the game is not going to be as engaging or compelling as you want it to be. So, is it possible to make travel fun? I actually ended up centering a campaign around travel. In one of my campaigns, my party had to escort the noble Sophia Mizella from Rothmire, which is on one side of the map, to Yungrid, which is on the entire opposite side of the map. And part of it was because I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could actually make this interesting. And I was a little worried about it, but I figured that some of the solutions that I've come up with for this problem kind of helped work around those issues that we're talking about. So one thing that you can do is I had my players travel with this very important NPC and a little entourage, which gave the players every opportunity to talk with them, gain more information out of them at their own pace, right? So they can choose to interact with these people or not, and I can bring up things that I think will progress the story or at least the character arcs for the players whenever I like. So that helps with the tedium part of it. Is you're kind of scheduling points where things are going to happen. Another way you're scheduling points is, well, now they're traveling with a noble, so perhaps, you know, there can be assassins, which I did, like a band of assassins was following them. Actually, the big bad evil guy the whole campaign was a lich who was always trying to gather intel on them, so they were always watching their backs, checking corners. And that was interesting. That was like something for them to do, and it added stakes to the game. And, you know, another thing you could do, and, you know, you might look down on this, but from a DM's perspective, I thought it was a pretty wise way to handle the situation, is if you're going to have them roll for random encounters, right? Have random encounters written, and then have them roll the d12, have it be set so, you know, it doesn't matter what number they roll. You're basically lying to your players. And then you have this quote-unquote random encounter. And you don't do it every time, because then it becomes obvious. And you do throw in a couple random things here and there, just, you know, to keep the variety interesting. But I don't see anything wrong with lying to your players in that way, because the end goal of the game is for the game to be fun, and travel is a really hard thing to make fun. So, but if that doesn't sound fun to you, if that isn't something that you want to do, there are other solutions that you can come up with. So I think there's something to say about it's cool to make like a big open world map where you have cities that are separated and they all have their own things. That's great. You want variety in what your players are exploring. But you should also think about how dense you want it to be. So if you don't want to emphasize travel because it's not that fun, what you can do is make everything be a shorter distance between each other rather than, multiple weeks travel. Or at the very least, what that does is if you have to get from one point that's pretty far from another point, you have a lot of interesting things in between for the players to engage with. So it's not like they're just going and rolling a random encounter, getting a random fight, getting in, sitting and watch, hoping nothing happens there, over and over and over again. Because I've sat at tables where you do that and that's the whole session and it's really boring. So with having a dense world, you can have a whole variety of things. You can have NPCs, you can have small villages, which have like little shops. Maybe there's a side quest there that the party can do if they want, right? They don't have to do it, but it's there. Interesting locations, like maybe an abandoned temple, maybe some old ruins they see on the side of the road. Maybe a wizard's tower that they see like a mile off the road and they wonder, what is that doing there? There are so many different kinds of things that you can add along the travel. And of course it's different if they're along a road or if they're traveling through the wilderness. The wilderness, you could, have them constantly trying to get away from a lizard folk tribe that's trying to hunt them down. And they have to, really be on edge because it's dangerous. And you would set that up. You would say, hey, just by the way, you have an NPC tell them or something. There's a tribe of lizard folk in these woods and they're very dangerous, so just be careful. And make sure when you're creating your world that there's enough variation for it to stay fresh and interesting. Like for me, I have different hill regions, different forest regions, different desert regions, and that's kind of obvious, right? But even different places in the desert can be interesting. Like you find these rolling dunes, or you run into this traveling caravan, or even like a traveling circus. Like you can do any kinds of fun little side things in different locations and give it a different tone and feeling, just so it doesn't feel redundant. One thing that I learned from Matt Colville on YouTube, and you should just watch his full video because I'm not going to explain everything he does here because I wouldn't just steal content like that. Matt introduced this skill challenge idea, which I guess was from back in the day, but isn't in the book of 5e, where basically you have the players attempt different skills that have a certain DC, and they kind of explain like how they would help along in the travel, and then just estimate the amount of time based on how long it takes them. And if they fail the DCs, right, basically want a certain number of successes before 3 failures. And, if they fail, then you can have a combat encounter, you can have an environment encounter, or if they do exceptionally well, you can do like some kind of a reward, like having an NPC, a merchant, or something along the roads. But basically you want to put things in front of their players that they can do, is the overarching theme. And at the end of the day, if your party really just wants to fast travel in between locations, that's fine. Like you can do that. That's a perfectly fine way to play. That's not the way I like to run my games. It's not really how I like to play in those games, but I understand players who kind of just want to get to the action. And like, it's your game. You can do whatever you want in it. So if fast travel is something that you want to just do and you just say you get there, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're going to do the fast travel, a great way to do it is a small fee. Have like a wizarding place at all the major locations so they can't fast travel anywhere. But just small fee for a teleportation circle that can take them to any major city in the world. And that's, there's nothing wrong with that either. And then they can build, they can build a little bit of a rapport with the different, wizard places, whether it's a school or, an organization, however you want to do it. But I just wanted to pitch some ideas where if you do want to engage with travel, there is more to it than just writing the story, because the story is something that there are things that the players can do with and interact with, and that's a lot easier than this other thing where it's really easy to get lost, really easy to get engaged with tedium, really easy to just not really care about what's going on, and you can tell when your players are not as interested in what's going on compared to like other times where they are really interested. So that's the travel video. I didn't really go super in depth. I kind of just wanted a broad overview of like certain ideas. I'm not the one who's gonna like go into like really detailed solutions and give you like specific encounters that you can do to perform such things. I just want to kind of put in my 2 cents, because I see travel as one of those things that a lot of DMs just feel like they ought to do but don't know how to execute on. So if you like the video, go ahead and like. You can join the algorithm gang by also leaving a comment. And if you really love me, and I know you do, you will subscribe and hit that bell notification. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. Have a great one, and happy gaming.